All righty, here we go. President Trump scoring a huge win for women's sports while attacking the governor he loves to call new scum. Just hours after Trump threatened to cut federal funding to California over a biological male competing in a girls' track championship, which he slammed as totally demeaning to women and girls, the state now reversed course. It will allow more biological females to compete in this weekend's track and field state championships, and transgender identifying athletes will be scored in a separate category. The president also reminding Gavin Newsom that he once called boys and girls sports unfair.
You right now should come out and be like, you know what? The young man who's about to win the state championship in the long jump in female sports,
right.
that shouldn't happen. You as the governor should step out and say no.
No, and I appreciate.
But like, would you do something like that? Would you say no men in female sports?
Well, I think it's an issue of fairness. I completely agree with you on that. It is an issue of fairness. So it's deeply unfair.
Would you speak?
All right, so does this policy change fix the problem, Dana?
No. First of all, it's a pilot entry process. Okay, Greg in the A block said, can I use it? He said that it's some crazy idea or bad idea. You have to go to the teacher's lounge to get the language. Whereas if it was just like something that everyone could understand, which is that no, man cannot play in women's sports, period, everybody would be able to understand it. Instead, it's like, I've read this 3 times. Under the pilot process, any biological female student athlete would have earned the thing in the CIF, the state meet, and then the section meet, and it was extended.
It's confusing.
What's so upsetting to me is we have these young women who have been passed over for opportunities and scholarships. They have been injured. They are the ones and their parents who got up every morning early. They got to the swimming pool to swim, or to the track meet, and especially for pole vaulting, all of this track and field stuff, they act like it's not a really big deal. Every single day you could find many of these young women who are then having to go and fight for themselves because none of the women who went ahead of them, who succeeded in sports, will defend them. And I think that is so shameful. So then you have Gavin Newsom, who goes on a podcast and says, yeah, I think that's a bad idea. But actions speak louder than words. And he doesn't act until he's threatened with losing the money. And then when they do say, okay, we're going to have a pilot program thing, that nobody can understand it because nobody wants to be clear because they're so afraid of taking a leadership position. But when you are in politics and when you're in government, that is a decision-making experience. And if he cannot make a decision as simple as this one, his career as a politician will end as governor.
Well, he also said out of 5.8 million students in California public schools right now, fewer than 10 are active trans student athletes. So are we making too much out of this, Greg?
Well, if it was only that, then why are they putting it on other people? If you want to do the actual math, you can talk about how many teams are these students on, how many members of the family are in that teen's life, and then the other teams that they play. Then you'll see it exponentially grows. But if they're arguing against their own point. If this is such a small thing, why did you make it into a law? It's a shame that Newsom reacts only to political consequences and not moral ones. But so it makes it the job of parents and of Trump to create the political consequences so he will act. Okay, let's talk about the change in the law. And maybe, Jessica, you might know more about this. I don't know. It will allow girls who are eliminated because they lost to a trans female, i.e. a dude, to advance and then lose to the same person again. Yes, exactly. So it's like saying, it's almost like no cash bail. It's like, hey, you got mugged and you press charges, but the guy's out and now he knows where you live, so he's gonna beat you again. This guy's mad because you got to stay. You see what I mean? It's like you can't have your cake and eat it too. It's almost like a non-binary law. We talk about the parents of the just normal, healthy kids. What about the parents of trans? Nobody talks about that. And that, like, what is the sunk cost of their decision that they're putting their kids through this, only to realize, and they're going to realize it because it's a fact, it's a contagion, it's a delusional fad. How are you going to be able to deal with that? Or are you going to continue to deny reality so that they can live with themselves and the decision they made? But you may have participated in the worst hysteria that has ever affected children in history. again, you got to do something. And I think right now, the only people that come out on the side of this trans thing know somebody who's trans. They say it's only 10. Well, they're really loud.
So A.B. Hernandez, who's the trans student in question right now, said, yeah, he won the triple jump last week, but she has also placed in a third in a triple jump, 8th in a high jump, 3rd in a long jump.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.